Ke la mogela gape mo Raising Babies 101. Gompieno re bua ka bana le bolwetse ba tlhogo, mental health and isolation, plus COVID and go ba motswadi o botokwa. And then we re feleletsa ka go bua ka go anyisa ngwana gago. First up though, COVID, lockdown le ngwana gago. Ha re shebeng.
A message for children. It's hard to be stuck at home right now, but we want to say thank you because you're being a big helper. When you stay home, you're protecting other people from getting sick. By calling someone you love who's stuck inside, you're giving them a smile, and they need it. When you wash your hands, for like the 100th time today, you're keeping your family safe. And by being brave, you're helping us all be brave. We know it's not easy, but helping will make everything go back to normal again as soon as possible. You're part of a big family of helpers around the world, and you're making a big difference.
The coronavirus pandemic and the unprecedented measures to contain it, its spread and disrupting nearly every aspect of children's lives, more importantly, their mental health. Now today, our children are living under some form of pandemic-related limit on movement. Our country is still under partial lockdown and many children are still out of school. This is especially tragic for the poorest children who rely on school feeding programs for their only constant daily meal. To discuss this matter is Meika from UNICEF and Nikki Dawson from Ububele. Welcome to you both.
Thank you so much for having us on the program.
Thank you. I mean, unprecedented times it is with COVID. Children are especially vulnerable when it comes to mental health as well. How would you say, I'll start with you, Meika, if you can unpack for us, how does this mental well-being of children get affected by a pandemic like this?
So at the beginning of lockdown, for 3 weeks, children were a bit excited to understand what this lockdown meant for them. But since then, levels of anxiety and distress and fear of the unknown have definitely increased. Fear for safe return to schools, how to protect themselves from COVID, but also by seeing and observing parents in further distress of how to juggle the economic means and to provide for the family during the lockdown. So the level of anxiety in children has increased, as has emotional abuse and physical abuse.
Right, I'm coming to you for this one, Nikki. Specifically with regards to hysteria and anxiety in parents of children, very small children. I'm talking about infants 0 to 24. A lot of people think that they also don't have a mental illness that can happen to them because of the distress from the parents. Can you walk us through that?
Yeah, so absolutely. I think it's often a misconception that infants are unaware of what's going on around them, but actually infants are hypersensitive to the emotional atmosphere. And so when caregivers and parents are very stressed, babies pick up on that. When parents' cortisol levels are high, when their facial expressions are more tense, when their tone of voice is more tense, babies pick up on that and they can become quite stressed, they can become quite anxious.
Yeah. Now, Meika, tell me the findings that you found that from looking at what's happened with COVID and small children. What are your findings?
So what we have been observing over the last 2 months is that through the data, for example, from GBV command centers and Childline, is that the worries that children report through 9 call centers around the country is that there is rising child poverty that they're worried about hunger and the need for intensified food, but also the whole issue of anxiety around learning, feeling quite isolated, feeling lonely and away from their friends, so to not being able to play with their peers. So there's a heightened stress level amongst children who are carrying the brunt of this pandemic.
Now, of course, we want to help our parents at home watching. How do we protect them from this anxiety and this uncertainty and fear? We all know that that just brings about stress and you just don't see anything else but that in the moment. How do we give them tools to just not be so anxious and stressed out?
So a lot of tools were developed by UNICEF to teach parents how to help the children with learning at this moment in time through games and TV programs and radio programs, but also online learning. We're also creating awareness to guide parents on how to keep children online safe, what to be on the lookout for on social media, to whom is your child chatting and why and how, what material are they exposed to online, but also to develop a routine, a daily routine, a menu, and for parents to do exercise and self-care. Call a friend if you are feeling in distress, but don't fix it on the children.
Don't flex on the children. And for you, Nikki, advice specifically for the infants and small parents, small kids?
Yeah, I guess really just to emphasize social support, like Micah said, that actually just having conversations with people who leave you feeling calmer and feeling better and feeling understood and heard are really important. And if you don't have access to someone like that in your own world, to reach out to a helpline or something like that, because the more listened to you feel, the more available, the more resources you'll have for your infant.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much to you both for helping families at home that are dealing with anxiousness and anxiety. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having us.
Thank you. All right, then morago ga dipapatso re tla go bontsha gore go bonolo jwang go tseba about parenting assistance in COVID times. Welcome back to Raising Babies 101. On our big dilemma today, we are talking about parenting during these challenging times. In an attempt to curb the spread and impact of the virus, South Africa embarked on a nationwide lockdown. But this has affected children's food security, physical health, and general well-being, as many parents, guardians, and caregivers are now dealing with economic instability. Today in studio, we have Yonela Ndabangaye, a mom who is having a challenge in the home. Now, to help her with this, we have Nikki Dawson, a counseling psychologist from Ubebele. Also with us, we have Lindo Sitole and Khomoto Christopher, both are parents who have walked this journey. Thank you. So, Yonela, I must turn to you first because it's a big dilemma.
Okay.
What is your big dilemma today?
Okay, my big dilemma is to sit at home without work. As an artist, every day. So now to sit at home without any income, and I'm a single parent. So a big dilemma am ilapo.
All right, Nikki, I bring you in here as a psychologist to help Yonela figure out what to do in this big dilemma. As you heard, she's a single mom. She's also an artist, and it's been tough because of the pandemic that we're living in.
Well, I'm sure the most helpful thing would be to have a stable income again. But I think there are some things that you can do maybe to help you calm down and to feel a bit calmer in this time of uncertainty. And some things that I'd suggest are maybe to try some breathing exercises. They can be really calming. Also movement and music is really helpful for our minds and our mental state. So dancing and stretching are really helpful to get us out of our heads and into our bodies a little bit. But I think the main thing is really to try and reach out to your support system, as we were talking about earlier. If there are people in your world that really help you feel calmer and feel better, to really spend some time talking to them and reaching out to them.
This is where I bring Mr. Lindo, Baba Gavaldo. You are also a musician, so what Usisi Yonela is going through? Advice ya gago mo situation ya hai ke eng?
Yazi ngizokhuluma iqiniso nje siswami sonke singama artists manje sinenkinga ukuthi asakwazi ukuperforma phela manje because siphila ngokuthi siyoperformela la kune crowd khona and manje asivumelekile. So into engakutshela yona nje ezokusiza uqhubeke ubhala umculo. And ngiyabonga ngoba sibhizi nje si-stress wayilento e-COVID-19 ubhale nangayo uyabona ukhipha umculo wakho because ngeke wazi ukuthi ubani ongakhona ukudownload ingoma yakho mhlawumbe ngakuvulela ngisho ama-opportunities.
Usikgomotso wena le wena re bona ku TV artist le wena advice how for Yonela e tla ba eng?
Lina Nikibatla who reiterate and try chong Lindo. For us as creatives, we've all been affected. But I think what everyone has been saying is what Lindo was saying. We echo that, is that this is a moment in time for us as creatives to look within ourselves. Whatever your creative endeavor is, it's actually something that can also help you and heal you. If you're a singer, sing. If you're a dancer, dance. If you're a writer, write. And it serves two purposes. You're actually creating new content, new work as a creative, but you're also healing through that process.
Any more questions?
And I think from what they say,
Nikki, anything else you want to add just as advice?
Yeah, I think lockdown is really an opportunity for us to connect and build relationships with our children and to just grab that opportunity, I think, as much as you can.
Our sister Yonela, do you feel that big dilemma re-arabilemo? Thank you. Thank you so much for your big dilemma, Sis Yonela. And Nikki, thank you so much for giving us that wonderful output on how we can deal with the situation. Really do appreciate it. For this second season of Raising Babies 101, I will not be flying solo. Kinale Khomotso and Lindo, and they are my official new co-hosts.
Yes.
Dumelang.
Ready?
I love that. I mean, parenting, you've got two beautiful children, and you've got it under control, Pela. I've seen Unale, the acting life, you're a mom, you're a wife.
Yeah, we're thinking, Hutata, I think like all of us as parents, as adults with careers, we have to learn how to balance things. And I think for me, what's really helped in life is to communicate with my kids because I bring them into this journey of our family life and them understanding, as a parent, you've got to leave. As a child, you go to school. I'm teaching them how to tusaning. I find that as parents, we find it hard actually give responsibility. I don't know why, because so I'm trying to learn and teach myself as a parent to be able to say, hey kids, I need help, because that does alleviate stress and that does at least give you a team at home as well.
I love that, a team at home as well. A very famous team on social media. Ubabaga Valdo, you and your son Valdo have a wonderful relationship, and Raibona on social media. What has it been like for Wena Khobantat?
Yazi ngikhumbula the first day mangithola indaba ukuthi ngazathi umama ukanje like umqondo wami wavele washintsha from lapho ngathi okay manje khona umuntu esimlethayo emhlabeni ngifuna ukuba khona for yena from the first day mephuma ngifuna ukuba khona ngoba mina ubaba ngimithe sengimdala uyabona and ngiyazi ukuthi kunjani khona la khona futhi moyengane umfana ukuthi uyadinga ukuthi kube khona ubaba so ngathi ngathi okay lo mfana lo ngifuna ukuthi ngibe khona from day one yonke ijourney ayihambayo ngize ngamtshela ngithi ngisho no bafana mso yothola igirlfriend yokuqala nginawe.
So today I want you both go sala teng mo and get a feel of presenting the show because there are some very juicy things. Are you guys ready?
So you're going to put us right there, right?
Right inside Pagati, in the middle. Okay. We're doing it. All right, Khomotso, you are first after I'm done with decoding A to Z. Kajeno rerarola H for Haemophilus influenza. Haemophilus influenza is a group of bacteria that can cause different types of infections in babies and children. H. influenza most often causes ear, eye, or sinus infections and pneumonia. The H. influenza bacteria live in the nose, sinuses, and throat. They are often spread by close contact with an infected person. Droplets in the air from a sneeze or cough can be breathed in. These may also cause infection. Breastfeeding alone appears to increase antibodies against Haemophilus influenza and reduce the incidence of Haemophilus influenza type B meningitis. Ke nako ya go tsena mo ditameng tse monate le nako gae le ka iponela a voucher ya 1,000 rand at an exclusive baby retailer.
Ke a kgola wa ipotsa mo leng teng hore o hapa jwang. It is very simple. Just answer this question. Children's mental health refers to how well a child develops socially and emotionally. Ke nnete kapa ke maka. Romela karabo ya hao ho Facebook page ya rona.
I loved that. Kopa re ise ko dipapatsong.
Ha re khutla dipapatsong, re ho bontsha how easy peasy it is to breastfeed your baby with Lindo Sithole. Ntate, o tlo lo ruta ho nyantsha bana. We'll be right back.
Ngiphinde nginamkeleke kuhlelo lethu elimnandi ngendlela esimangaliso le Raising Babies 101. Igama lami ke uLindo umfana kaSithole. Mothando wangibiza ngodede kaValdo. Namhlanje ngithe awuthi ngithi ukuphumuza ke phela umama ke uyena we Raising Babies 101 uCarol Ofuri. Hayi namhlanje ke bathe bafana owuthi uncelisa la. Ngiyazi ukuthi singobaba sibaningi siyahluleka uma sokuyisikhathi sokuthi sincelise sibambe siyeka. Kodwa kuzobe sisiza ke namhlanje ke uyena kuqephesho wethu uCleo Stein. Cleo, how are you?
Fine, thanks. How are you?
Good, good. Can you please help me here? Because I feel like I'm uncomfortable.
I can see. Maybe pass me the pillow as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cleo, tell me, what's the best way to breastfeed a baby?
I think the best advice I can give any mother on a breastfeeding journey is to, number one, be comfortable, go to the bathroom, get a snack. So you'll first need a pillow. Breastfeeding pillows are the best way to breastfeed your baby because you actually need an extra hand to be able to position baby correctly and also to position the mouth correctly. There are some positions that are really good for different issues like reflux, or if your baby is a little bit more gassy, or if the mother has big breasts. When you are breastfeeding, you want to, I will go through a couple of positions with you, but you want to be comfortable and you want to have your back supported because you're going to be there for approximately 40 minutes. You could be more at a time. And initially, when you start breastfeeding, it could be every 2 hours, it could be every 3 hours, it could be every hour. So you want to protect your back. The second thing is you want to make sure that your baby continually feeds properly. Initially, when the baby is very small, they get tired, they get what we call milk drunk. You see little cute pictures of milk pouring out their mouths. But that can actually hamper your breastfeeding journey in a way where your baby gets a little bit tired or you're just not getting enough feeds in and then you have to feed every hour or every half an hour. So there are a couple of tricks where you can, number one, stimulate your baby's suction. So by the corner of the mouth, if you just rub the corner of the mouth, there's a reflex. The other thing is that you want to position your baby in a way where you can still see the nose. Now, this is very important, especially for mothers with bigger breasts, is you could actually suffocate your baby in a breastfeeding session if you don't watch for the nose. The first and the most common position would probably be the cradle hold, which people love. And it's a way where you hold your baby as if you would cradle your baby, and then you can breastfeed in this position. My favorite through my breastfeeding journey was for sure the cradle hold, or what they call the football hold. Now, the football hold is great for when they are very small.
That's my fave.
Yes, this is the best control. These little guys might be tiny, but they are feisty and they are everywhere. So you want to control the limbs. So you can swaddle your baby and in this position then hold the breast and the baby at the same time.
I remember when my baby's mom, when she was busy, she would ask me, Lindo, can you please help me? The kid is hungry. But I was always nervous how to hold him, you know. And I believe that there are a lot of dads out there who are struggling.
So the first position is sit down.
Okay.
Sit down in a chair, specifically a chair that has an armrest because your arm can get tired. They might be 3-4 kilograms, but believe me, after a while, it's quite heavy. So you want to be in a position where you have an armrest that can support your arm, and make sure you are always supporting the head. The face.
All right, well, Cleo, let's test him out. Give him the baby. Let's see if he can hold this little Kwesi. Baby Kwesi. How's he doing, Cleo?
That's perfect. So you really want to support your back. You want to lean into the chair, make sure you have a pillow behind your back, make sure that your arm is well supported so you can support the head. And then that way you can also do great skin on skin and a little bit of eye contact, which is important for bonding.
I think you've got this. So, Lindo. Ow, Batung. Well, there's lots more happening. Deng Momo raising babies. With our yummy mummy and dishy daddy. And Gompieno, my guests who have been with me throughout the show, we have the beautiful Khomotso Christopher and Ubaba Valdo. We've got the wonderful Lindo Sitole. But this is a very fun feature, Moshong. I get to sit down, Lilona. We did it the whole of season 1. And I want to know from you, what's been happening the world over? For you, Khomotso, you know, the first point, yeah, lockdown, the COVID-19 for family.
Sure, it was tough, hey? To be honest, I struggled. I think mostly I struggled with the schooling aspect, the online thing. So literally just to create a home environment that's also a school environment was very, very tough for me. That was my main struggle, to be honest, with my kids. Yeah.
And then for wena, Lindo Delejwa.
Bekunzima kakhulu yazi because yabo mina masengijwayezile ukuthi ngama weekends ngiyaphuma ngiyoperforma yabona so manje lento ukuthi ngizohlala every day Monday to Sunday ngihlele endlini angiphumi ngihleli nomfana wami sihleli nobafo kakhulu manje sengiyazi ukuthi ay every day sengiyazi ubuka ngesikhathi so ubuka amapopaya so ngesikhathi so ngoba phela ufuna ukuthi ngihlezi nginaye ngeke ukuthi ngoba lesikhathi usakhona uke esikoleni mina ngizoyivalela ekamereni ufuna ngihlezi ngimonitor.
So tell me Khomotso, how has parenting changed you as a person?
In so many different ways. For the first time in your life, you think of something outside of yourself, and sometimes it gets quite extreme, you know, because I find myself putting myself last, which I think as a mom, especially as a parent, you have to find a balance. So personally, I found, if I'm going out to the shops and I need something for me, you know, and I'm like, I needed to do something for myself. And so that's changed me quite significantly.
Lindo, what is your advice for Ubaba Ekaya? You know, all the fathers at home, Bashibiling, you are doing parenting very amazingly. So, king advice how for Untate go high?
Yazi like abo baba baningi bayitshela ukuthi ukunakekela umntana umsebenzi wabomama kanti akukho kanjalo nathi singabo baba kwamele ukuthi nje sike sinakekele izingane zethu ngoba ziningi izinto ozozifunda yazi kunawo baba bangazi ukuthi ingane yakhe ithanda mapha ama-toys ibhlungu lonto leyo ukuthi ingane uyithengela noma yini but uyazi ingane yakho ukuthi ithandani so kubalekile ukuthi nathi singabo baba asike simphumuze nje kancane.
I like that advice. But it's so lovely to sit down with you guys. Yummy mommy warona, dishy daddy, bonang. I really appreciate it. Now, Gerlona, wonderful. Thank you so much. Well, the final surprise of the day. Raising Babies 101 is not only going to have 1 show a week, we're going to have 3 shows a week. Mondays and focusing in on 0 to 24 months.
And surprise, surprise, on Tuesdays, you'll be hanging out with me for the toddlers edition, ages 2 to 4. Kitlala then.
Again, yazi ngolesithathu ngizobe ngigijima noDaddy kaValdo ke la ngiphetha khona ama-preschoolers wami lo no 4 nalabo 5 years old.
Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday we'll be on your screens for Raising Babies 101. For me, Carol Ofori, I'll catch you every Monday. From Khomotso and Lindo, they'll see you on Tuesday and Wednesday. Until then, see you next Monday. Bye-bye. Bye.